it's 10:10, so here we are, Terry and Christine, Generator Coaching. We're going to share you a little tidbit today.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? What is our agenda?
Our agenda today, we're going to talk about how to take comfort in the discomfort.
And before we actually get started, I kind of want to ask, and I know Christine is interested, how everybody's doing out there. What's happening with you? How are you adjusting to what's going on with coronavirus and just the working from home and changing your habits of going out? We'd really like to know. So comment below. Let us know how things are going. Let us know what you want to hear from us too.
Definitely.
So we're talking about being comfortable in this discomfort because we know that...
we know we bought Oreos and we don't eat Oreos and Doritos, but they're in the closet.
Yeah,
the far closet. We have to intentionally go get them.
Yeah, so we are taking a little bit of comfort in our discomfort. However, what I'm talking about when I'm saying comfort in the discomfort is learning how to be comfortable with moving forward things that you're not really used to doing or that are really uncomfortable for you. And so it's a little training that I do with clients of mine. And so we thought we'd bring it out and talk about it a little bit because we are in a very uncomfortable position for everyone around. And so one of the first things that I know for me is that when I get frightened or scared, I tend to back up and start to get in my head and think about what's next.
Well, and we were just reminded, we read somewhere or heard it. We heard it. We heard it on somebody else's Facebook Live about how if you're thinking about something for 5 times, then that's almost like you're worrying about it.
It's not almost like it is you're worrying about it. You're going over and over and over situation. It's exactly what it is. And so when we get scared, we retreat and we try to think our way out of something, and the only way to get out of anything is act. And so we have to take action to get out of a discomfortable situation. I mean, think about it.
Even if we don't know what the result's going to be,
for sure.
Action's better than no action.
Action is better than no action. Think about it. If you're in bed and you're laying there uncomfortable, you got to move to get comfortable again. You just can't go, okay, I'm going to get comfortable now. You have to move, whether it's sleeping in a bed or moving somewhere in your life. It doesn't matter what it is. We have to actually take action. The other thing is when we start to actually get comfortable, we start to get lazy and we start to settle for things. And so, man, I'm really comfortable in my couch watching TV, and I got one of our cats on top of us, and man, I don't want to get up and get a snack, or I don't want to get up and feed the other cat that wants food. I just want to sit there, and we get really lazy in our comfort. And so we really have to actually start making ourselves go forward and making ourselves...
I mean, back on that other thought, like Netflix just queues up the next show.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to get up and change
watch
anything.
now.
You don't have to do anything.
So being intentional and saying, we've been lost in TV before, and we're just like, okay, we can watch a show and then back to work. And back to work could be at 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah, or 10 o'clock at night.
That's been known to happen this week.
It's been happening. It happens to me a lot. I go back and start working on a website or working on a landing page or something that I'm working on. But the reality is discomfort's where the growth happens. We have no growth. We have no change when we're living in that comfort. And so we have 2 choices. One, the world's going to come in with something crazy like a virus to make us all make change, or we're going to actually implement change ourselves. Otherwise, we settle and we stop growing. And, you know, I have found for me that the most miserable times in my life is when I get comfortable and I stop actually pushing myself to grow. And so we really want to start working towards moving forward. And one of the things I talk about a lot is there's 2 places that we don't grow. And that's the terror spot where we're completely terrified about what's next and we freeze, or the lazy, comfortable spot where we don't do anything because it's so comfortable.
Well, and then that stresses you out too.
Yeah, and that stresses you out because then you start, at least for me and the people that I've worked with, it's kind of a common thing that we get into beating ourselves up if we're not actually doing something to move ourselves forward, and it might not happen.
We put it on the calendar and we make it happen, like yesterday's lessons.
Exactly. So it's in between that terror and that comfort that I talk about, and what I call is the fringe of fear. And so we're getting into fear, and I think about reaching into the terrified, but stepping just back a little bit into what's uncomfortable and what's scary, and doing it anyway. And the
like
fact
you can
that
only jump halfway. You got the guy on the cliff.
yeah, there's no jumping halfway. You have to jump. Once you go, you're going. And so it's that fringe of fear where we start to, who is that?
Good morning, Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin. Good to see you here. And so it's that fringe of fear that we really start to grow. We have to walk out, step out further, and do that thing that we're uncomfortable with doing. And when we actually start doing that, we realize that the fear we had was all in our head. It was some kind of protection that we had of something might fail. So we'd stop moving, and then the fear grows. I think about when we're on, who out there has ever been on a diving board, a high dive? If you jump off, you can keep doing it and have fun. If you don't like it, at least you did it. But those people who step up there and they start to back up and they start to climb back down the stairs, there's a really high likelihood that it's going to be more scary every time they try to do it and fail. And so that's why it's really important to get on that fringe of fear and start really taking action and taking small actions. You don't have to go all the way unless it's a cliff or a diving board. You kind of can't stay on that. But really making one step forward with anything that you're doing, especially in business, is just one step forward with something that's been frightening you. Even if it's, phone calls is a really good thing. Pick up the phone and say hi to people for a little while and get into a conversation and get warmed up to actually realizing that they're not going to hang up or yell at you or say mean things and then hang up on you. They're going to talk to you.
That's their opinion. That's their prerogative. Next.
Yeah. And so just get used to it and start moving forward, and then add pieces to it as you go. And that's a very simple way to start moving through that discomfort into actually becoming comfortable with that. And then the next thing you know, you're comfortable with that, you got to move that fringe further.
And then your comfort zone just gets bigger and bigger too. Is kind of what you're saying. You're saying go to that, like if it's a big target, you're right in the middle, and then you jump to this area of comfort, and then you jump to this area of comfort. You're just on that fringe, expanding your comfort zone. And then all of a sudden you can do everything. Well, or at least
within reason.
Feel like you can.
Still haven't been able to fly yet, but I'm working on it.
Or jump off a 20-foot story building.
But I got a helicopter. So.
Morning, Steven.
Morning, Steven. How are you doing? So, I think, what else are we talking about here?
Well, I mean, and then we're talking about like being at the comfort zone, but it's also being comfortable with being able to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people have failed. I mean, everybody gives the same stories. The Babe Ruth, how many times did you go up to bat? Or Thomas Edison tried how many times? But, you fail, you learn from whatever you learn from that, and you apply it for the next time you try.
Yeah, and I got to tell you that I really hate all of those people that talk about, failing is going to help you move forward, because I fail a lot, and I don't like it. I never liked it. And the idea is, for me, when I hear those people say that, it's almost like they're telling me to like failure, and I don't. But that actually causes me to try harder and to do more and to look at what I was doing that didn't work to make changes.
Well,
and so,
or asking for help to get you over that hurdle, whatever that block is.
For sure.
To ask the expert. That's something that we do. Is we're here to help, whatever that is, as business strategists.
Yeah, and we ask for help, and we help the people who come to us, and we also have all kinds of help from all kinds of coaches and joint venture partners and people who can really help us move forward. And we pay a lot of people different amounts of money for the different services because we cannot do it alone. There's nothing that anybody can do alone and actually be proficient at.
And I know I'm not going to get the CARE initiative, so we're connecting with our accountants and those who know more. So we're not shuffling through the 800 and some pages of what it is, but how they are there to help us and shift through all the stuff.
Right. The other thing is we're not counting on anybody else's money because the economy is the economy, but our economy is up to us. And so that's one of the things that I really think about is my economy is up to me, and so I need to do whatever I need to do to move myself forward or ourselves forward.
You're like your own economy stimulus.
Yeah, we're our own stimulus packages. So the more we think about that and the more we take responsibility for that, the better off we're going to be.
Robin says, change the mindset. It's not the failure, it's the lesson. Exactly. Takes on a whole different meaning. Yeah, I mean, that could be applied in so many ways. Feedback comes to mind, but we don't need to get into that. Caitlin says, I'm always told to lean into the discomfort and experience it a little bit. Yeah, that's a good
exactly.
way.
That's the whole idea of fringe of fear. And the fact of the matter is learning from those experiences doesn't mean you have to like it. I do not like it when I'm not doing well with things. But I take the lesson and I take that information and I see what I can do to become better at what I was doing.
Well, yeah, and we have a benefit of saying, hey, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you?
Yeah.
We're kind of our own coaches as well as we have our formal coaches.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we're at an extreme advantage because we have each other to lean on when I'm not knowing stuff or I'm feeling twisted about something. I can lean on her, and when she's getting upset about something, she can lean on me, and we look at it from a different point of view and accept each other's point of view. So we're kind of lucky in that way. A lot of people don't have that partner involved in their business to the degree that we do that really helps. And so,
I just noticed we both don't have our glasses on today.
Yeah, I just took mine off. But sometimes I don't like them. Most of the time I don't like them. I just can't see without them. And from this distance, I can't see the comments with them either. So there's that. Anyway, so lean into the discomfort. Like Caitlin said, get comfortable with the discomfort and start adding things to what you're already doing that you're not really comfortable with. And you're going to start seeing expansive growth with whatever you're doing.
Take the action, and the action might be reaching out.
Reaching out, or just doing it again and seeing what you get. Just realize where you're making your mistakes. The big thing is constant monitoring of what you're doing so you can go back and make changes.
Yeah, and at some point realizing you can't just do it all.
Completely.
I think that's a good note for us to end on.
So, we'll see you tomorrow at 10:10. Follow us on Facebook, Generator Coaching, if you're not already. Tomorrow night, we're going to be having another hypnosis session. They've been going really well, so we want to invite everybody to come to the meditation hypnosis session. Really relaxing, really recharging, resetting. So
and invite your friends. It's a public event, and
free. Public
also
event.
Be looking for quick tips from us. We'll be starting quick tips soon. Just 1 minute little tips to find, and they might be things that you'd want to share to your friends and grow our community. Appreciate y'all.
Bye bye.
See you soon.